Hey everybody, welcome to Patreon Tuesdays. It's your girl Amber, aka Watch Amber, co-founder of Herpes Can Never. Might know me as Watch Amber over on YouTube. My confidence is contagious. I help women heal on purpose. I've been called to help women feel unashamed, empowered, and worthy. I'm using my real life experiences to do so. So grateful to have you all tuning in on Patreon Tuesdays. We love you. Shout out to everyone. We got a good one today. Shayna.
My name is Shayna Singleton, aka the Herpes Goddess, and I am the founder of Herpes Can Never. I have grown the largest herpes awareness community of over 148K. The mission is to make everyone feel uncomfortable until the herpes community feels comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. I'm so happy to have you all here with us today. It is Healing Tuesday, and I know usually I'm with my journal prompts and my this and my that, but Amber is running the show tonight, and I am so excited to see what she has in store for us. She sent over a video. I haven't seen it. I don't know what we're about to watch. I am here to do the work with Quana and Pamela today. So excited.
Yay.
And share.
I'm hype about it. It's going to be a good one.
Welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where we share the tools and techniques that we all need to live the life that we want to achieve, to have the dreams turn into realities, and to live a life experience that we're proud of, happy to talk about, excited to share with other people. I love your comments. I love when you engage with each other and with me. I love to see your BOL. And if you're new, BOL means breakthrough out loud. It means aha. I love to see your Yana. You are not alone. YANA. To let me know that I'm not the only one dealing with that. So please keep your engagement high. Keep commenting with each other and with me. In this episode, I get to answer the question, Lisa, how do I cut the chains shackled to blame, shame, guilt, and regret that I've had from the past? How do I move forward and let go of the things holding me back? Oh, I think this is one of my biggest topics that I had to have huge strides in. I can remember 25 years ago. Yeah, I can still remember that. When I was so riddled with shame, I had gotten into a relationship that I thought was the one. We even got engaged. My son was 3 years old. Jelani was 3 years old. And 5 months from the wedding, my fiance became abusive. Mentally, verbally, and physically. I navigated myself out of the relationship physically. I got Jelani and myself to safety. But man, the guilt, the shame, the anger at Lisa. And so when we talk about moving forward, I just believe that in order to powerfully move forward, you cannot hold yourself hostage to old actions, old experiences. And man, was I holding myself hostage. I felt like, Lisa, you put yourself in danger, and that's one thing. But oh my God, you put your 3-year-old son in danger as well. That, if putting myself in danger consumed a corner of my energy, putting Jelani in danger consumed a block of my energy. I knew that I couldn't create anything in my future living with this guilt, this shame, this blame, this anger. And so I began to do something super important that I recommend to every single one of my students when we deep dive into work. And that's the importance of mirror work. The importance of mirror work is key because you spend so much time showing up for other people, doing for other people. But the only time you can really spend with yourself and for yourself is when you get in the mirror. And so often we're dutiful. We're in the mirror, brushing our teeth, combing our hair, ladies putting on our makeup or doing whatever we're doing. And then we go. And that's the only time with self. We may spend some time being still and meditating and breathing. But for the most part, we're busy, being busy, being busy, being busy. Raise your hand. Even if I can't see you right now, just raise your hand if you know you're busy, being busy, 2 hands. If you're super busy and always busy, yes. I know. I can see that. Yeah. And I believe that I know I was trying to outperform my past. Meaning, if I can get these things really done, I can prove it to them that I'm not crazy. I can prove it to them that I'm not a slacker. I can prove it to them. But most of all, I can prove it to myself that I'm worthy of a second chance, a third chance. And that's why it's important to get in the mirror. Because in the mirror, you just become confronted with who you are. But there's a way to do it. You want to write this down. Please don't think you can remember this. Give yourself the gift of writing this down. And if you have been on my campus for a while, you know where I'm about to go. Yes, I'm going to go there again and again and again. Because to me, the mirror work is the foundation of all your other growth. Because until you can show up powerfully and whole for yourself, you can never show up powerfully and whole in the world. So let's get you connected with you. So I recommend that you get in the mirror and you complete 3 different sentences. And those 3 different sentences are sentences of healing and release and celebration. So actually, instead of telling you, I want to show you, I want to bring in a mirror to show you what I did to turn my crawl back into a walk and my walk into a run and to turn my run into a soar. I needed to learn how to release the shackles of anger toward Lisa, shame and blame, regret. I needed to give myself permission to be with me in a healthy way. And I believe that mirror work is one of the most powerful ways you do that. So you're going to complete 3 different sentences. The first sentence, you look at yourself and you complete the sentence, I'm proud that you. But you say your name. Now, first, I want you to look at yourself as if you were your best friend. Because you'll look at your best friend with more compassion, more grace, more ease than what you normally look at yourself with. When you look at yourself, you have judgment, ridicule. You're judging your skin, you're judging your eyes, you're judging your decision. But when you're looking at a friend, wanting a friend to feel connected, then you look at your friend with love. So the first sentence is, I'm proud that you. You say your name. Lisa, I'm proud that you. And the first thing that I could be proud of was simply that I got out of bed that day. Lisa, I'm proud that you got up today. Lisa, I'm proud that you got the courage to get in the mirror again. Lisa, I'm proud that you were healthy enough to step out of the relationship. I know you thought you should have stepped out sooner, but you did step out. Lisa, I'm proud that you had the courage to ask for help. Lisa, I'm proud that you are deciding to be the best version of you. You want to find 7 different endings to be proud of yourself for. 7 different endings. This second sentence, you might not want to do, but it's so important to do. The second sentence is the one that might be the hardest to do, but it's also the most liberating when you do it over and over and over again. The second sentence, you say your name. Lisa, I forgive you for. You want to forgive yourself. You want to cut the shackles. You want to cut the shackles to blame. I forgive you for lowering your bar. I forgive you for allowing lonely to make you compromise. Lisa, I forgive you for staying silent in the suffering. Lisa, I forgive you for forgetting that you are a queen and you deserve a king. Lisa, I forgive you for the guilt that you've been riddled with for the last 6 months. Lisa, I forgive you for allowing your body to not represent how you feel about your health and wellness. The second sentence, I want you to go back and forgive yourself. Say your name each time. I forgive you for. And don't try to edit it. Be honest. It's just you. I normally do this exercise in the bathroom with the water running so that I can be boldly honest. In the last sentence, make a new commitment to yourself. A commitment that you are non-negotiable going to keep. Lisa, I commit to you that today Your yes will mean yes, and your no gets to be given when you need to say no. Lisa, I commit to you that I'll put you in front of everyone else today. Lisa, I commit to you that I will love you and have more grace and ease. And every time I hear a negative thought, I won't live there. I'll press stop and I'll give you a more powerful thought. So each sentence, I'm proud that you, I forgive you for, and I commit to you that. 7 different endings on all 3 sentences. I did it for 6 months straight every morning. I recommend you do it for 30 days and then consider continuing if it feels good. This act of mirror work literally turned my crawl back into a walk and my walk into a run and my run ultimately into a soar. Remember that this show is not just a monologue. It's a dialogue. It's a rich, delicious, courageous conversation between a tribe of gladiators and change agents and unicorns. So what was your big aha from this episode? What did you need to hear? Bigger than that, what are you willing to do as a result of this episode? Please leave me a comment below. Matter of fact, I want you to send me a picture. If you decide you're going to take on the mirror work, I want you to send me a picture of you standing next to the mirror, and I'll know what that means. That means you're in. Be sure to subscribe and look out for more amazing, delicious content in the future.
Okay, there we go. Bless you. You're muted, so thank God we didn't hear that.
I lost the third one because the little one. So
I commit to you.
I commit to you. Boom.
I commit to you.
Okay. Now I'm gonna be quiet. Let's do it.
So, y'all, I love Lisa Nichols as a life coach. She's a life coach. I love what she does. I love her story. And when I was thinking about today, this just made sense for me because I actually have something that I call mirror talk as well, where it's basically you're looking at yourself in the mirror, taking yourself in and talking to yourself. And I love that she gives us this guided kind of prompts with the 3 questions or the 3 statements, and then we're filling in the blank. So I felt like it would be really beneficial to take some time and write them out together and share them with each other. Because I know it says she says it's just you and yourself. So be bold and be honest. But I feel like what's even more liberating is to be able to share your truth in a safe space with others. And that's what this Patreon is created for us to have the opportunity to really be our true, authentic selves in the comfort of this community and be accepted for who you really are and celebrate yourself and help you to work through forgiving yourself. And so I thought that would be something good to do today. So I'm excited about answering these questions with you all and hearing what you guys put and actually answering them myself because I've never done this before, these particular prompts. So I'm going to set the timer for 60 seconds and we are going to start with the very first one that says, I'm proud that you. And I want you to think about, write down, I want you to think about what comes to your mind first. Like what comes to your mind, write it down. Don't filter it because what comes is what actually is. So whatever comes, write it down. All right, 60 seconds. I'm proud that you. Time starts now. and stop. All right. Time's up. All right. So to break it up, I want us to talk about what we have written down now, and then we'll move on to the next question to kind of keep our minds not premeditating the answers and answering as authentically as possible. So who wants to step up and share? I want you to do like Lisa did. Say your name and say, I'm proud that you, and share some of the things that you're proud of. Talk over here. All right.
Okay, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Shayna, I am proud that you inspire others to love themselves more. Recognize your flaws. Oh, Shayna, I'm proud that you recognize your flaws. Shayna, I am proud that you recognize your bad habits. Shayna, I am proud that you make constant strides to evolve and be a better person.
Ooh. Yes. I'm going to do this every day for 30 days. She said she did it for 6 months. I'm legit dead ass going to do it every day for 30 days and look in the mirror and see how I feel.
I already do this every day.
Really?
Yeah.
And you look in the mirror?
Gratitude is a part of my journal. Oh, I talk shit in the mirror. Do that. I'm like Issa Rae in the mirror, okay? I'm Issa Rae in the mirror. Yeah.
Big energy. Big energy. Okay. Who's going next?
First off, you got me crying. Like, I can't stand this. I said, Pamela, I'm proud that you didn't give up. Pamela, I'm proud that you are striving for peace. Pamela, I'm proud that you are taking everything in. I can't. Sorry.
No, it's all good. That's what this is for, sis.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the work. That is the
yes,
work.
this is the work. I love that.
I have
Me
to
too. I'm in my feelings.
stop only because of the fact that when I started, that shit was hard.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to speak. I didn't know how to speak to me. I didn't know how to speak life into me. All I ever knew was how to tear me down. That 2017 for me was me changing my self-talk, and it was some hard shit. You don't realize how hard it is. I had an awkward moment with a guy one time because he was going through it, and I sat him in front of my altar and I prayed over him, and then I spoke life into him, and he started tearing up. I asked the man to repeat himself, to repeat after me. He couldn't do it. I had to pry it out of him. So big ups to you, Pamela. That's growth. That is work, queen. That is work. Now you know that you got to get to a point in your life where you can speak into you and you don't feel sad. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard work. It don't feel uncomfortable. It don't feel foreign. Make that feeling a new feeling. Make it a comfortable feeling. Make it something that you purposely put into your life from here on out.
And here's the thing, though. I tell myself affirmations, but this video today kind of made me see that I'm not giving myself enough.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad that you were able to gather that. That's exactly what this was for. Thank you, Queen. Quana?
Yes, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm traveling, so it may go in and out. So let me go ahead and get mine out. And I love Lisa Nichols. I've been following her for a long time.
Yes.
But for mine, I wrote down, Taquana, I'm proud that you got through the storms. Taquana, I'm proud that you learned to love yourself. Taquana, I'm proud that you didn't allow yourself to become bitter. Taquana, I'm proud that you never gave up no matter what. Taquana, I'm proud that you now know your worth and you did a great job with the kids.
Yes.
And Taquana did that off the top of her dome because she's driving right now. So
you go, girl. Yes. Yes. So mine are Amber. I'm proud that you showed the world who you are. Amber, I'm proud that you stopped giving a fuck. Amber, I'm proud that you decided to choose you. Amber, I'm proud that you changed the game for yourself. Amber, I'm proud that you were strong enough to walk in your truth. So those were mine. And I love what Shayna said, because it wasn't always like this for me, or I could say it this naturally, this easily. It has been a journey. It has been tears. There still are tears. It has been emotions. There still are emotions. But I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of you all for showing up and for truly doing the work that changes your life. So thank you. I love you guys. That was beautiful. Now we're moving into the second one. I forgive you for. And this is a good one. I've never done this before. I've never sat and wrote down, these like this. So I'm excited. So our next one is I forgive you for. We're going to do 70 seconds and it starts now. In time. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This one was a little difficult. I almost started getting emotional at the end because I'm just like, I was sitting here looking at the paper like, woo, wee. I could just bust out crying right now. Like, man. So I'm gonna say mine and get mine out the way so y'all can go, because I literally only got 4 and I was literally just staring at the paper like, Amber, I forgive you for, and everything. I just started feeling this wave of emotion rise up like, man, this is deep. I put Amber, I forgive you for seeking validation from others. Amber, I forgive you for operating below your worth. Amber, I forgive you for using your body in an unhealthy way. Amber, I forgive you for all of the pain of the past. And I was just sitting here looking at this like, Lord. So those were my 4.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Niall brought some chips over, y'all. Shayna, I forgive you for not making enough time for your self-care. Shayna, I forgive you for fucking up the money. Shayna, I forgive you for relapsing on dairy and eggs. That's all then Niall interrupted me, y'all. My bad.
Mom life.
Yeah.
I love that though. Thank you for sharing. Pamela.
Okay. I said, Pamela, I forgive you for the things you didn't know. Pamela, I forgive you for the pain you gave yourself. Pamela, I forgive you for not putting yourself first. Pamela, I forgive you for not giving yourself a fair chance.
Oh, hey, those were good, Pamela. Thank you. Quan, I don't know if you're in a place to speak. I'm gonna give you the opportunity though.
Thank you. Okay. I wrote, Taquana, I forgive you for not loving yourself. Taquana, I forgive you for allowing others to control your life and the narrative. Taquana, I forgive you for not believing in yourself and not realizing how brilliant and smart you are. Taquana, I forgive you for not knowing your worth And Taquana, I forgive you for dumbing and watering yourself down.
Ooh wee. Ooh wee. She's telling my story too. Ooh wee.
This was hard for me. I do journaling with my cousin Monday through Fridays. And I've gotten such at a point where I'm just speaking positivity into my life that I haven't sat back to think of any of the negatives. And so when I was sitting here, I'm just kind of like, my brain automatically is journal, want to write positivity. And for some reason, I didn't want to write anything negative. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. That's where I'm at in my journaling. I know I have to be more free flowing, I guess, but the negativity only comes when I'm in a negative state. And right now, since I'm in such a peaceful vibe, I couldn't pull that in my journaling exercise.
Thank you for sharing that, Shayna. It's almost kind of like the same for me, but it was a little different. I was just like, I haven't sat and reflected on the things in this way that we're doing it like this in a very long time. So the thoughts kind of got stuck here, or I like meditated on them for a few seconds instead of just writing them down, because I didn't really know what was going to come to me. But I'm going to really spend more time doing this.
And I feel that. Back in July, I had spent 30 days of my life forgiving myself for the things that I wasn't happy about. So I think that has a lot to do with this portion of the journal of us writing it down too. It's like I dedicated a whole month on releasing all those stuff that I felt like I needed to forgive myself for, that I was upset with myself for. So then when it came down to this list, it was just kind of like, I already got rid of all of this stuff. What's next? What's new?
I love it.
Yeah.
Which leads us into our third question, or our third statement, I should say. I commit to you. I commit to you. All right, y'all. Time starts now.
Wait a minute. Is it like I commit to you what? Like
I commit to you that I will, be my best, self,
Okay.
or I commit to you that.
Right, that. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
And go. In time. Kind of was like talking to myself in third person on this one.
Oh, I crossed my last one out so quickly. I was going, what? I put, I will smoke less. And then I said, scratch that. That shit.
I'm weak. At least you scratched it out.
Sorry.
Scratched it out. Okay. Who's going first?
I will. I said I will commit more to feeding my spirit. I will commit to never giving up. I will commit to having a better yesterday. Well, a better day than yesterday. My bad. I will commit to try harder than. I will commit to try harder than yesterday, and I will commit to express my true feelings.
Thank you, Queen. I said, Amber, I commit to you that I won't stop until the world knows about herpes can never.
Period.
I said, Amber, I commit to you that I will make you my number one priority. Amber, I will commit to you that I will always choose love. Amber, I commit to you that I will honor you with my choices. So that's what I had in the 70 seconds.
Okay. Shayna, I commit to you that I will get back to meditating daily. Shayna, I commit to you that I will get back to exercising daily. Shayna, I commit to you that I will drink more water. Shayna, I commit that I will set routines and stick with them. Just don't do them for 30 days and lose them out of nowhere. And that's what I have. Shayna, I commit to you that I will smoke less. Because, smoke less. I'm on a detox now, y'all, and it's killing me. I smelled it. My neighbors was smoking it. I smelled it in the air. I hit the air. I said, it was bad.
In Pamela's air. What you mean? I'm weak. Kwana.
Okay, ladies, I wrote, Taquana, I commit that I will never let you down again. Taquana, I commit that I will take better care of my body, my mind, my soul, and my spirit. I commit that I will love myself without restraints. And Taquana, I commit to tackle my goals and at least work to moving something forward every day.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. If you improve by 1% every single day, over time, think about what that does. And so we often think about the fact that we want to make these huge strides or these huge leaps. But if we just do more than we did the day before, if we did 30 push-ups yesterday, if we did 32, if we did 5 sit-ups and we do 9 sit-ups, if we just do better than we did the day before, imagine what that compounds on to be over time. And so I'm really glad we did this exercise. I hope you spend time with yourself, offline, and go through and write your 7 endings to each of the statements and spend some time doing some mirror talk and make that a goal that you commit to yourself for 30 days and then reassess. I'll put it on the calendar to check back in about a month on one of our calls to see if you guys did it and how you feel, because I'm going to commit to do mine, and just to see what thoughts and what things it brings up in my life and in my healing, because I think there's so much value and power in these statements. And I'm grateful that y'all shared y'all. So I really appreciate it. Shayna?
Well, welcome, Rita. How you doing today, Queen? We watched the video today talking about
marriage. Okay, thanks, guys.
Hey, boo.
Just to catch you up what we were doing as we watched the video called Mirror Talk. Well, I don't think it's called Mirror Talk, but it was about Mirror Talk. And you basically go in the mirror and you tell yourself, Rita, I am proud that and you go through the list of the things that you are proud of yourself for. Then you go, Rita, I forgive you for. Go through the list of things that you feel like you need to forgive yourself for. And then the last one is, Rita, I commit to you.
Yes.
That's what we were doing when you got in.
Okay.
Catch you up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Amber. I love that. That is perfect. And you know how I feel about self-talk, spelling, journals, and affirmations. I swear by it. I'm a firm believer in it. It really does change your attitude and how you feel about yourself and how you show up for yourself. And it was the tools that I needed to break the stigma for myself. Once I was able to tell myself something, couldn't nobody tell me shit about me. Just like can't nobody tell me shit about my child, can't nobody tell me shit about me. And it wasn't always like that. It was just my child at once. Can't nobody tell me shit about my child, but everybody was telling me some stuff about me. So I love the exercise. Again, Amber, thank you for that. Let's see what we got. We got 15 minutes on the clock. I want to go back to the conversation that we were having on, I think it was Friday. And I was able to cover that this morning. Instead of journaling, what me and my cousin did was we just did a YouTube video for my YouTube channel. And we covered the conversation that Pamela had when she said I don't know if it was your cousin. I just said your cousin, how she'd rather have chlamydia 10 times than have herpes. Yes, baby.
I'm thirsty.
Okay. Bring me your cup.
Okay.
And then bring me your drink of choice, and I'll pour it for you.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that walk, swag. All right, go. I'm working. Anyway, he walked over like.
That's my boo. That's my little boo right there.
They'll be all the way off guard. Anyway, how they would rather have chlamydia 10 times over before they have herpes. And what was great about the conversation is my cousin does not have herpes. So I was able to get a perspective from a person.
This is the only cup I got in my room.
Okay, all right. We can use this cup. Now go get me something to drink. Dang, no. Anyway, sorry. It was interesting to get her point of view. She kept it raw. I told her to give me her opinion as if she doesn't have a cousin who is out here talking about STDs, and you know what I'm saying? Because that changed her point of view ultimately. But I wanted her point of view before the whole herpes could never movement. And she said, yeah, hell, I made notes. One thing that she said was, it's the feeling of what is my life looking like after finding out I have an STD. So my question for you is, go back to the time when you didn't have an STD. You were STD free, and ask yourself, what is my life looking like with an STD? And I would love to hear your answers right now.
Mommy,
You can't have too much because it's late, baby. Here, put this back.
What?
I'd like to answer that. Like, even when you were just saying, asking that question, I was just like, wow. Because honestly, and even what you ladies say, Amber with herpes saved my life. Listen, it forced me to level up within myself. It forced me to go, find who Taquana is, that love that my mom told me, like, daughter, you never loved yourself. And I went back, y'all, all the way remembering in elementary school, not loving myself. And I'm like, wow. So I believe, like, without all of those things, including the herpes, the abusive marriage that I went through, all of that, it forced me to have to find myself, to love myself, to now take better care of me. So yeah, it saved my life.
Yeah. And I love that. And I love that you shared that, because that's something I brought up to my cousin as well. That one question, what does your life look like with an STD, is some healing for every single person. That is like something I can put together for just people who are STD negative, just so they can dig through that. I was trying to find a way, like, how do you get the person to heal at the magnitude that I've healed in, but because of my herpes had to bring shit to the surface. It had to show me all the areas where I lacked self-love in. Without my herpes, I'm not sure if I would have been able to get to this level of healing, or even aware that I needed to get to this level of healing. So what questions can we throw out there for a community of people who don't have lifelong STDs so that they can do the work? Amber, I haven't.
Do I have it? Dang it, I don't think I have it. There's this book, I don't have it with me, called Believing Bigger. And the lady who wrote it is Marshawn Evans Daniels. It's called Believing Bigger. And in the Believing Bigger book, she talks about how she finds out basically the weekend of her wedding that her husband was still sleeping with his ex-wife. And she called that her split rock moment. And I called herpes, I called my breaking down from herpes my rock bottom. She called it her split rock moment. And I feel like in this life, just the way that we navigate through life, that the only way to actually be aware of the fact that you are not who you authentically are is to have one of those split rock moments, rock bottom moments. And I feel like for us in the community, it was our herpes. But for people outside of the community, I really feel like it takes you getting to a pivotal, like a turning point moment in your life where things could go either way. You're either going to go left or you're going to go right. You're going to go towards death or you're going to go towards life. And you could spiritual death, emotional death, physical death, or you're going to go towards, that rebirth, that life. And I don't know too many things outside of being diagnosed with something like herpes in the world that we live in the way that it's stigmatized, that it's going to accelerate that awareness. I don't know too many things that compare to finding out that you have herpes that puts you in that place to be aware, to do the work. So why I say it saved my life is because for me, I'm glad that it halted me in the way that it did. I'm glad that it shook me in the way that it did. And I'm grateful for it. And so to those who are STD negative, I don't know that there's really anything that compares that you could ask to get those wheels turning of that work. I don't know off the top of my head.
That one question, what does your life look like after an STD?
That's it.
You see all your insecurities down on a piece of paper, literally. I'm gonna have to lower my back. You already know they're gonna feel the stigma with this list. If I got an STD, this and this and this and this and this and then that, they just wrote a list down of their insecurities and the shit they need to work on.
Boom.
There's no way in hell an STD should make you feel that way about yourself.
Boom. Rita?
I would say for me, like, that wasn't even on my radar. I grew up Catholic. I didn't have that conversation. So to me, it's like, I was like, oh, I don't want to get pregnant. I don't want, my life to be derailed in that sense. So it wasn't on my radar. But initially, you kind of feel like your life is over. But, like, kind of, I watched, Amber, that video, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. But eventually, like, I can see how that could happen. Like, I live in DC, and it's a very high HIV rate here. And I'm not shaming anybody, but, like, I don't know what I would do. So it's like, okay, I have this. Like, it's not going to affect my fertility. I can still live. So, and you're right. It forces you to combat, like, how did you, for me, it was like, kind of like using sex is like a validation to force you to confront those things about yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, Rita.
Yes.
Pamela?
See, for me too, it's the same. I was like, well, what now? You get what I'm saying? I feel like that was my big question too. Because my biggest thing was, well, I got herpes from my second person. So I tried to make sure I followed the steps. I was 20 years old when I lost my virginity. I was in the correct steps of my development. So it's like, at first I was so devastated. It was like, wow. And now it's like, oh, wow. I'm kind of happy because I feel like it put a big break to me. I'm a very open book, out of the box person. And I like a lot of crazy things. And I know what road I feel like I could have ended up on. And I feel like this was my safest route provided to me by the universe. And I'm glad because, go ahead.
Baby, that road is still open for you.
No, of course. Because I don't feel like I'm any different either, but I could have ended up dead, is what I'm saying.
All right. I
And
the kink community for some reason.
the who community?
The kink community.
Oh no! Oh, that's not a problem.
Okay,
that's not no problem. No, I mean by that, I mean like I could have ended up dead. I could have ended up somewhere more realistically. I did not need to be, and this pumped my brakes. So I'm good. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Pamela. On the topic of kink, y'all. Kink is the most accepting community when it comes to STDs. Kink is a very safe community. They're very aware. They are informed of the STDs and how it works. I've learned this through FU, which is Fuck University. I'm gonna have to do a lot of bleeping out in this. Jeez. Anyway, one of the women, I did one of her podcasts, and she has herpes, and she is very much well in the BDSM kink community. So I just want to put that out there. Kink welcomes the STD community with open arms because they are not ignorant. One thing we did mention during the video is that people attach STDs to people who are promiscuous. And some of the people I know who are promiscuous are some of the most safest, sexually healthiest people that I know. Promiscuous people are not the people that we need to fear, or not the people we need to categorize as dangerous.
Thanks.
It's people kind of like most of us.
Like me.
One of them who have sex without requiring test results, without having the necessary conversations. So you can have one body, two bodies, three bodies. If you still didn't do that, you are 100,000% worse than anybody promiscuous out here. Actually, you the worst of the worst. You worse than anyone with STDs. You are the worst of the worst because it's irresponsible sex, and it's the irresponsible sex that spreads STDs. Unfortunately, and for some reason, that part of sex culture is glorified.
Yeah.
That part of sex culture is accepted. That part of sex culture is not stigmatized, and that is the exact part of sex culture that needs to be stigmatized. Not the hoes, not the people living with STDs, but the people out here having irresponsible sex, the people out here having sex and they don't even know, they can't even list all their STDs yet. The people having sex under my comments asking me, well, what's this and what's that and what's this? If you don't know what all these things are, why are you engaging in an activity that can give it to you? So, yeah, I ain't got nothing else after that, y'all.
I like how you mentioned that in your video, because I saw it with your cousin. The thing, in my opinion, I kind of noticed it, like, our culture is reactionary, like, oh, I'm going to get tested, just make sure I'm clear. Like, you should get tested before, because kind of just luck of the draw that you are clear, you know?
Yeah.
So it was cool that she mentioned that. I feel
Absolutely.
like more people need to know about that.
Thank you, Rita.
I life coached. I had a coaching call yesterday. One was a 31-year-old Black man who lived in Texas. He has herpes. He has HSV2. and he was just telling me he sounded like everyone who, like, we all think the same things when we go through being diagnosed. He was diagnosed in 2018. He saw my YouTube video, long story short. And so he was dealing with the fact that he told her he's been dating this girl. They reconnected and he told her about his herpes. And she kind of has like regressed. The energy's changed or whatever. And he was talking about navigating through that. Well, in that, we started talking about the past people that he's talked to about he's had herpes. And he said that since he's been diagnosed, he's had that conversation. And a girl that he was dating, not this girl he brought up, he told her he had herpes. And she then told him that she had it too. Well, he was like, well, if I didn't tell you, were you going to tell me? And she said eventually, but not before they had sex. And that made him like, okay, I'm good on you. And he was no longer interested in her in that way because he was like, bro, you just was out here you were just going to be reckless about it. And she was feeling stigmatized by it and she didn't feel comfortable bringing it up. And so he brought it up and she said she had it. So basically all that to say is that I thought I was in the right by having fewer partners, but still in my fewer partners, I was having unprotected sex for the first time. We wasn't looking at no type of results or anything like that. But because society says you're a hoe if you have sex with a lot of people, you're not a hoe if you have sex with a small amount of people, I thought I was good because I was basing my life off society standards. And that was something I was aware of like back here, but it was never something that I was going to bring to here in order to actually do something about it until I got herpes. Because what herpes did was it caused me to stop living by what society deemed as okay and appropriate and really confront myself and look myself in the mirror like, Amber, you lucky it's just herpes. It could have been a host of other things what you was out here doing. And so going back to the girl that he was talking about, because society has stigmatized herpes so much, she wasn't even going to mention it because she thought it was going to turn him off. When in hindsight, in all actuality, full circle, it turned him off, not because she had herpes, but because she didn't talk, disclose it prior to. So we have to stop living our lives we have to stop determining our worth by society standards, because obviously society standards are effed. And the truth of the matter is, what are your standards for yourself? How do you feel about you and the decisions that you're making? Not how does it look to others? How does it look and feel to you? And I never realized and thought about my decisions and how they felt to me and affected me before my herpes. And so I just wanted to share that because that's how it saved my life. That's a way that it saved my life. So I just want to share that.
Thank you, Queen.
Yes. It's 9:00. The hour flew by. Lord.
Yeah, it flew by. But that goes right back into what we were saying the other day. You have all these people mad at the person that quote unquote gave them herpes and all scared of disclosing.
Yes. At the same damn time.
You mad at them, but you understand them. But you never going to admit that you understand the person that gave you herpes. You just going to be mad at that person and complain about disclosing. They haven't made the connection yet. Damn, look how I feel disclosing. This person must have felt this way. And that's probably why they didn't disclose to me. That's where the understanding comes into play. That's when that healing comes into play. When you just stop. Hey, I'm going to take a break from being mad at this person real quick. I'm just going to shut my feelings off. I'm going to power it down real quick just to look at the bigger picture. There's this stigma. By me being mad, by me being afraid to disclose, I feel the stigma. By me complaining about my gifter, I feel the stigma. By me making me a victim, I feel the stigma. He's so quick to say the world is what the stigma is. It's everybody who don't have herpes that's fueling the stigma. No, we are the majority. We feel the stigma. We make the stigma a reality. And then we expect people without herpes to feel or believe something different that we don't feel and believe about ourselves. That's insanity.
I'm about to pass the offering tray.
Look,
That's the word.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. Herpes can never, point blank, period. Amber.
I love y'all. That's big facts, no cap. You want to break the stigma, break it in your own life first. Break it in your own thought first. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Because how you see yourself is you're either fueling the stigma or you're breaking the stigma. And that is power. And I encourage you guys to do that work. Ask yourselves, reflect on those questions or those statements. And herpes can never. I love you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 over on Facebook for Healing Wednesdays.
Thanks, Queens. Good night.
Good night, everyone.